Go to the channel right here. TrappUniversity. College is way too expensive.
SIU is usually the default university that most kids from Chicago go to, assuming they were just average or below average students. The smarter kids went to EIU or Eastern Illinois University, DePaul, Northwestern.
A nigga like me graduated 4.0 GPA. What you talking about? Hey, I ain't going here though. I never let me step foot in Chicago, bro. Them niggas got A12. They got guns beyond human comprehension. They got guns that'll blow your brain out in the bro. Nah.
Or Loyola. SIU is pretty much where you'll see most of the C and D students that did end up going to college.
You go to this school, they just they got firing squads on demand. Firing squads on call. They got guns beyond human comprehension. They got guns that are HP Lovecraft. They got ray guns, the atomizers and all that bullshit. Nah, hell no.
College and
guns can't even imagine.
A year. 30. Bro, this is one of the most ratchet campuses I ever visited in my life. It wasn't dirty or nothing. Okay, well, there was a slice of pizza just sitting on the elevator when we first walked in the dorm, but it wasn't like super trapped out. There are two sides to this campus though. The part with all the financial aid students, aka the guys who are going to owe 30 bands, and East Campus, which is where most of the kids' parents probably already paid their tuition. So you got the hood and the suburbs, basically. You can't even walk in between the two sides. There's a bus you gotta take. But for $30,000 a year, my homie's dorm was a jail cell with a sink in the middle, which the sink was outside of the bathroom for some reason. I'm sure they've made some changes to campus since then, and obviously there were probably dorms that didn't look like this, but bro, food was good though. But this is ridiculous. This is definitely a sign to not just go to college if school is not for you. Now, I had a lot of fun in college, and that's probably because I went to college to have fun, but I was a below average student and I probably had no business going to a university.
Fuck school! Fuck all this bullshit! What the fuck?
But once I found out that all my high school teachers lied to me, I applied to every single one. They made it seem like it was hard to get accepted by a college. Remember that movie Accepted? It was like about a group of kids that made their own fake school because they couldn't get into a real one.
I'm not gonna lie, you're gonna find out if college is for you within your first semester of college. I'm not gonna lie. when you're a freshman, shit, if you go around, you're gonna find out. No bullshit. You're gonna find out immediately.
Maybe this was the case in the early 2000s, but by the time I was done with high school, everybody was getting accepted. Sure, Harvard and Yale and Dartmouth were probably more selective, but not most of them. I actually failed a class my senior year, which resulted in me not being able to graduate. You see, I tried to make my senior year as easy as possible, so I held off a couple freshman classes like PE and music until senior year. That way I didn't have to take psychology or something, and well, I failed music because I was a stoner my senior year, and music was my first period class, so I kind of just started skipping and waiting until second period to come to school. Anyway, I couldn't graduate, and I definitely wasn't about to come back and be a 19-year-old senior, so I just got my GED. And with the GED, I got accepted into like 5 different schools. I thought it was gonna be harder than that, but turns out a college will love for you to come in and acquire debt. Who knew? And they know that most of these kids aren't even thinking about that. When I was in college, I saw people taking out extra loans just to get a bigger refund check to spend on clothes and alcohol. And yeah, I get it, you're an adult technically, but at 19, 18, you still an idiot. Look at the University of California in Merced. The acceptance rate is like 90%, meaning that you pretty much only have a 10% chance of not getting accepted. Now let's keep in mind that most schools historically would rather have you stay on campus freshman year, and if you're from LA, you're probably not gonna commute 4 hours to class every day. So why is UC Merced so eager to accept you? $50,000 a year.
Yeah.
$1,000.
And if you decide to come in from another state, like neighboring Nevada, $83,000
that's not real.
a year. In the U.S., the total student loan debt is around
You telling me you gotta make 6 figures? What? Man, hell no.
$1.777 trillion. We as a country have a higher student loan debt than the entire GDP of 168 countries. Just think about this. The U.S. only pays $7.2 million for Alaska. Even if you adjust for inflation, that's only $155 million today.
Oh my
Who is
God.
paying
He
all
put
of this
too many
back?
numbers.
Turns out less than half of borrowers are even on a payment plan right now. Bro, for the price you pay a year at some of these universities, you could be paying $3,000 a month for rent plus groceries. Around 60% of students do end up graduating, but what does that mean when 62% of all students can't even begin to make payments? Why did Hollywood fund so many college movies that made college look fun? Is there some type of deal going on behind?
That is a scam. Hollywood college movies are the devil. Don't listen to this. It's a Venus flytrap. It's all sweet and sticky. You think you're gonna have fun. You think you're gonna crack buns all the time. And you go to college and have fun, you're gonna end up burning. have AIDS and you got to wake up 8 o'clock in the morning. You think you all good because you ain't study for your exam. You end up getting a 60. You ain't got no credit. You can't graduate. You spending another 50 bands just to stay in school. Don't do it, bro.
The scenes where Hollywood makes people want to go to college just so the college can bring in more money from the state. Now, yes, many students go to college, stay completely focused, and graduate within 6 years. But some universities in Mexico are only charging $378 a year, although the average salary in Mexico is around $17,000. And some schools can be as much as $16,000 a year. That's not good. But why? Why is college so expensive? Now, there are many reasons you'll hear of why tuition is so expensive. From bureaucracy, the cost of athletic scholarships, and the silliest reason I've seen is demand, when some schools accept more than 85% of students that apply. What is the real motive? I went to a relatively small university, and every year there was some $1 million addition being added to campus, like a new student center or new concrete that leads to the new student center, and fraternities, man. Now, when I was a kid, I didn't understand why fraternities were always portrayed as some elite club for spoiled rich kids. Well, then I got to college and joined one. Now, they are not funded by the school. They are partially funded by you, kinda. You wouldn't want to join a fraternity or sorority and not...
Oh, yeah, them shit's mad lame, too. Don't... Frat, sorority, rewardity, fraternity life is absolute butt cheeks. Go make friends for free. Go network. Go talk to people like a normal human being. Don't pay for friends. You're not going to talk to any of these people after you graduate. It is a complete waste of time.
Live in the house, right? A frat row is usually a long stretch of big ass houses. And I'm talking at least 12 people in a house, and they all paying as much as $1,200 a room. And at more prestigious schools, it can cost more. These are very expensive houses a lot of the time, and some of them are even $1 million houses, but paying $1,200 a room to watch guys drink beer and argue about girls is crazy work. I stayed in the house for one semester, and that was enough for me. I completely understand the stereotype, but some guys and girls in these houses aren't well off. I've seen many of them working a job to pay this crazy rent you could pay to have a view of a downtown skyline in some cities. And back to the tuition. Even if you graduate, you have to still make sure you get a job that pays enough to get you out of debt. Beware of a business degree, or at least know exactly what you're going to do with it once you have it. Same with any degree, I guess, but I've seen unemployed people with marketing degrees, and I've seen people with business degrees make $100,000 a year, while some of them are making minimum wage. I tried to be smart and majored in IT. This was not smart. It would have been if I was good at IT, but like a lot of kids have to learn, just because having a degree in something can pay good doesn't mean that you will be good at it. It reminded me of the high school I went to. It was a vocational school, and you had to take a major. I wanted to take culinary because they made chocolate chip cookies and got to eat them, which was pretty much all I needed to hear. But then I found out that there was a GPA requirement.
What did he just say?
Vocational school, and you had to take a major. I wanted to take culinary because they made chocolate chip cookies.
Oh, what the f***? This fat ass nigga, he said he took this
and got to eat them, which was pretty much all I needed to hear. GPA requirement to bake cookies, bro. So obviously I didn't meet...
Bro, having a GPA requirement to bake cookies and eat them shits is insane, bro.
This GPA requirement, and they ended up putting me in carpentry.
Betty Crocker! That's her name, Betty Crocker. He wanted to be a Betty Crocker.
And I was like, cool, carpenters make good money, and they even let us use a saw and
what is Ray doing here?
Hammer stuff.
They got Ray in this
carpentry
bitch?
involves math, which ironically was the very thing that dropped my GPA too low to take culinary. And I wasn't completely honest with you at the beginning. Carpentry was also the reason I didn't graduate. I didn't get OSHA certification. Shout out to my teacher for hooking us up. I still haven't used it though. Anyway, school is easier for some people than others. Yes, you watching this video,
Me?
You might be one of these people, no matter how old you are. My auntie went back to get her master's degree in her 40s, and she did it. I was just not a good student.
Auntie.
Not since second grade at least, and college wasn't for me. But that doesn't mean it's not for you.
Oh my.
It's still expensive, but I guess if you were smarter than me, then you could probably just...
This nigga ran out of clips. He keeps putting the fuck out his bullshit fuck school clip. This nigga funny as fuck, bro.
Get a scholarship or something, like an academic scholarship, or if you were athletic at all, you could probably...
Oh wait, hold on. I think you're talking about me.
It's still expensive, but I guess if you were smarter than me, then you could probably just get a scholarship or something, like an academic scholarship. Or if you were athletic at all, you could probably get an athletic scholarship. I don't know, man. I feel like a cheat.
I'm not gonna lie. If you broke, you might as well just be broke and smart. If you broke and stupid, don't go to college. Don't waste your money. You gonna stay in college till you 37. Get unnecessary debt. Probably end up doing something you don't even need your degree for. If you dumb and broke, if you got money and you dumb, go ahead, blow all the money you want to. Nigga, I'm broke as shit, but at least I got a brain. I got somewhat of a brain up here, and I be thinking shit through. And I would not have gone to college had it not been for a scholarship. I'm not gonna lie to you. If my shit wasn't free, nigga, I would be in the real world, real dope hustling.
Code for the athletic scholarship is to run track. I wasn't that fast. I almost got one though. I wanted to play football, but I was horrible at catching, and they wanted me to be a receiver. So I don't know, man. I guess.
Damn, how tall is this nigga?
Study. Maybe you'll get an academic scholarship, or just do some real research on a grant if you want to go to college or go back to college. If I would have did more research in grant programs, I'd probably be in less student loan debt. But yeah, don't make the same mistakes I did. Even if you don't, college is still too expensive. But not TrappUniversity though, because I love you guys. I really do, man.
Let me too,
man. Say thank you to you guys enough. I know y'all probably tired of hearing me say that, but
I'm not.
Thank you for letting me have a voice, because I really wouldn't have one without y'all. And maybe at TrappUniversity you can learn that you can have a voice too. Cause look at me.
Hey, TrappUniversity, bro.
But it means nothing if nobody heard me. But thanks for watching.
Appreciate that. You're welcome. You're welcome for the view, TrappUniversity. TrappUniversity, college is way too expensive. Amazing channel, bro. Like one of the best channels on YouTube at the moment. Eve St. Larry on all platforms. Check out the link in the description. Twitch, everything. Appreciate you watching the video.